right.
What's going on, baby? Talk to me, baby.
How you been, man?
House is gone. This is the price. This is the price of speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my shit. So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out.
Orlando Brown just threw gasoline on the Allie Carter situation, and this time he's claiming her life changed the moment she started exposing names tied to them elite Hollywood circles. Word is, Allie didn't just speak out and get ignored, but became a target after revealing things powerful people never wanted connected to Hollywood dark networks. And now the street asking, was Allie really telling the truth all along, or did she uncover something so dark it put her directly in danger? Now, the part making this whole Allie Carter situation hit different is the timing, cause for years folks brushed her off like she was just another internet voice chasing attention. Every interview, clip, and emotional breakdown got turned into memes instead of questions. But now, after all these celebrity scandals, lawsuits, leaked stories, and old footage resurfacing, folks going back to Allie's words with a completely different mindset. And Orlando Brown just added gasoline to that fire. This time, he ain't just speaking in random riddles or wild one-liners. He's lining his story up with Allie's, and folks online saying the overlap getting way too uncomfortable to ignore, especially when both of them keep describing the same type of environments: powerful people, isolated spaces, young entertainers being moved around, and systems designed to keep everybody quiet.
Big names are gonna come out soon. Will you be shocked when you see certain names, or you pretty much already have everything figured
What's
out?
done in the dark will come to light. You go to the party to party.
Now slow down for a second, because this story gets dark real fast. According to Orlando Brown, Allie Carter didn't just become a target because she was talking online. Folks believe things changed once she allegedly started exposing names tied to elite celebrity circles people never expected to hear connected together. And once conversations around Epstein-style environments started resurfacing again online, Allie's old claims suddenly stopped sounding random to conspiracy-minded viewers. Because one thing people keep noticing is this: every time somebody starts talking about powerful entertainment circles, they either get mocked publicly, painted as unstable, or suddenly disappear from the conversation completely. And folks online saying Allie's situation started feeling eerily similar. Now let's get into the part really making viewers uneasy. Allie Carter repeatedly claimed she was exposed to environments involving wealthy and powerful figures while she was still extremely young. Not glamorous celebrity parties either, but isolated spaces where she says people were treated more like objects than human beings. And whether folks believe every detail or not, the emotional way she tells those stories is exactly why the internet keeps circling back to her clips. Remember them wild claims of certain foster homes funneling kids to powerful people, and Diddy's parties were one of the destinations. Not as guests or performers, but as party favors, allegedly.
Trafficking over the border was for who? Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody going to talk about that? The immigrants that are coming across the border, that all those that they were just scooping up out of boats and out of the water, they're now coming in and they're throwing them right into the system. Aurora, Colorado, Springfield, Ohio. Where do you think all the kids are going? I was a party favor.
What does that mean?
I was a party favor. I was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set
I set
on a table, like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them.
Yep.
And they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak off parties, they put on the table instead of gift bags.
And you bring up every source of trauma for the victim, but nobody wants to stop and think about that. We're not talking about the victims that are still going through the right now with other people who are running to cover their and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why you running?
All those tears, folks finally paying attention, because there's barely any performance in her delivery. No polished Hollywood storytelling, just long pauses, visible fear, shaky explanations, and moments where she genuinely looks emotionally overwhelmed trying to explain what she believes happened around her. And according to Orlando Brown, that's exactly why people should have been listening sooner. Now here's where the story starts connecting in a way that keeps viewers glued to the screen. Orlando been hinting for years that young entertainers allegedly get introduced into powerful celebrity environments way too early. At the time, people laughed him off off, called him unstable, clout chasing, spiraling. But now, folks online revisiting old Orlando interviews saying some of the patterns he described sound dangerously similar to what Ali later talked about publicly.
Jeffrey Epstein created this saga, and this is what he is great at doing. He's great at kidnapping someone, turning them into putting them in a dead celebrity's body, and screwing the life out of them after he makes a ton of money off of their ass on his private little beach. So you have a private little beach full of celebrities and bodies getting screwed, and nobody cares because they're supposed to be dead. And this has been a major market that he tried to blame on Oprah Winfrey.
Different people, lives, but same type of systems being described, and that's what keeps making this conversation bigger than just internet chatter. And with all the crazy stuff that's been going on in the industry, folks are now revisiting every former child star, emotional celebrity breakdown, every public unraveling, and asking one uncomfortable question. What if some of these people weren't simply crazy like the media painted them? What if they were reacting to environments the public never fully understood? Now let's talk about the MK Ultra conversation for a second, because that's another reason Ali's name keeps getting dragged deeper into internet rabbit holes. Ali hinted multiple times that people inside these celebrity systems allegedly use manipulation tactics to mentally break people down emotionally. Not necessarily sci-fi mind control like movies, but conditioning, emotional pressure, fear, dependency, isolation, identity confusion, and trauma-based control. And honestly, once people started comparing her statements to stories from former child stars, things started sounding disturbingly similar. Because look at how many young celebrities later described confusion, emotional instability, trust issues, fear, exhaustion, and identity struggles after growing up around powerful industry figures. Britney Spears publicly talked about feeling controlled and over-medicated. Justin Bieber spoke emotionally about wanting to protect younger artists from certain industry experiences. Aaron Carter repeatedly sounded terrified during live streams before his passing. Orlando Brown himself openly talked about Hollywood environments damaging people mentally. Now pause right there.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you. I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
At what point do folks stop calling every single person crazy and start asking whether these entertainment systems themselves might actually be damaging? That's the real conversation starting online now. And according to Orlando Brown, Ali Carter's story allegedly goes deeper because she started naming specific types of people and environments publicly. Not just random accusations either, but descriptions of wealthy circles, isolated gatherings, powerful handlers, and spaces where influence protected everybody involved. That's when people online started saying Ali may have crossed the line certain folks never wanted crossed it publicly. Now let's be clear here, there is no verified proof Ali Carter was abducted or physically taken by any celebrity group, but internet discussion surrounding her situation exploded once people noticed the periods where she disappeared from social media, returned emotionally distressed, or suddenly changed how openly she spoke. And conspiracy-minded viewers immediately started building theories around that, especially because Ali herself repeatedly hinted she felt unsafe after speaking publicly. She talked about fear, threats, instability, and being watched. Again, none of that confirms anything illegal happened. But once Orlando Brown started echoing similar fears about powerful entertainment circles, the internet started connecting those dots hard. And then there's that moment her home got attacked.
House is gone. This is the price. This is the price of speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marx, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my shit. So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out.
And honestly, this is where the story shifts from celebrity gossip into something heavier emotionally, because now people are asking how many former child stars and whistleblowers got publicly mocked instead of protected. Look at Aaron Carter. Toward the end of his life, Aaron sounded emotionally exhausted, fearful, constantly online talking about needing protection, saying people were after him, saying he wasn't safe. Back then, people called it addiction and paranoia. But after his passing, folks replayed those videos differently.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, "You look like you have AIDS." You should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me. I'm scared. There's things going on with me. There's rumors. There's people that are body shaming me, and they're putting me down. And yeah, like, I didn't realize I was 115 pounds. That is terrible. I wasn't even looking at myself in the mirror because I didn't like the way I looked.
What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear? I don't even know how to answer that question. Not being able to live as long as I can. That's my greatest fear.
Then, Justin Bieber's emotional interviews started hitting different too, especially once old clips resurfaced involving Diddy publicly talking about spending private time with Bieber when he was only 13. Folks online started questioning whether Bieber's emotional struggles came from fame alone, or whether certain industry experiences damaged him deeper than the public realized.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you. I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
And the more names overlap, the more suspicious people become. Diddy, Epstein conversations, Justin Bieber, Aaron Carter, Britney Spears, Orlando Brown, Ali Carter, former child stars describing emotional damage, public breakdowns, isolation, fear, manipulation. The same themes just keep repeating over and over again. That's why Orlando Brown stepping back into this conversation matters to people online, because whether you believe him fully or not, he's one of the few former child stars openly saying the entertainment industry allegedly destroys people mentally behind closed doors, while the public laughs at the fallout afterward. And honestly, that might be the darkest part of this entire story, not the rumors themselves, but the possibility that emotionally damaged people spent years trying to explain what happened to them, while everybody dismissed them as unstable before even listening properly. Now, another layer making this whole situation explode online is the way celebrity power works. Because once somebody becomes rich enough, famous, and connected, people start assuming they're untouchable. That's exactly why Ali Carter's claims shook so many viewers emotionally, because she wasn't describing random nobodies. She was describing systems involving wealth, access, celebrity influence, and silence. And the internet has seen similar patterns before. Celebrity breaks down publicly, media mocks them, public laughs. Years later, hidden details come out, changing the entire narrative. Britney Spears was mocked for years before the conservatorship. Conversations exposed how controlled she allegedly felt behind the scenes. Aaron Carter was mocked before people started revisiting his fear-filled live streams after his passing. Orlando Brown became a walking meme before folks started rewatching old interviews, asking themselves whether he was actually trying to tell people something all along. Now suddenly, Ali Carter's clips getting revisited through that same lens. And the online community, they've been loud. One user puts it, Orlando might be unhinged at times, but that doesn't mean he doesn't tell truths. Another comments, proud of you, Orlando, keep speaking out for yourself and others who are silenced. Yet another said, fun fact, if you play crazy, you can survive as a whistleblower because they know people won't take you seriously. Folks are asking, why do so many stories connected to elite entertainment spaces keep ending with those same emotional themes? And according to Orlando Brown, the reason these conversations keep getting buried is because powerful people benefit when the public sees whistleblowers as unstable instead of credible. Because once somebody gets labeled crazy, most people stop listening automatically. Now, whether Orlando's right or wrong, one thing undeniable, people are finally listening differently now, especially after years of scandals expose how often powerful industries protect reputations before protecting vulnerable people. And honestly, that broader reflection is what makes this conversation bigger. Because once enough former young entertainers start describing emotional damage from similar environments, the public naturally starts questioning the systems themselves, not just individual celebrities, the culture, silence, handlers, environments, pressure, and manipulation, and the possibility that fame might come with hidden emotional costs nobody warns young stars about until it's too late. So now the real question becomes this: why do so many former child stars sound emotionally broken years after entering these powerful celebrity circles? Why do the same names and environments keep resurfacing around conversations involving fear, manipulation, and control? And if Ali Carter really did expose something dangerous enough to make her fear for her safety, what else could still be hidden behind these Hollywood walls? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're riding with unfiltered heat, don't just scroll, lock in, tap like, subscribe, and keep it rolling with the next jaw dropper loading up now.